Can we just talk about how Tom Daley looked at her when she said the word flabbergasted?
She's going to be a bit of a dark horse.
Jonathan Ross, I actually think, will be a big player.
Stroke of genius the producers.
I agree. Hi guys, this is Cut to the Take.
And today we are talking all things Celebrity Traitors after the first 2 episodes. So let's get into it.
Does the celebrity version maintain the genuine high-stakes drama of the original, or does the fame and charity element spoil the recipe?
Okay, well, I do feel like it's not as tense, this series.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah.
I feel like there's some tension that's missing. Like compared to a few of the other series that we've watched, I've always felt quite engaged. To be honest, I've never really felt engaged in the challenges. Those can just kind of come and go.
Yeah, fair enough.
But I don't know. There is something. I also think watching the celebs go in, you could really see that they were all holding back quite a bit.
Absolutely, especially in that initial first meetup of everyone together.
Yeah, it really did feel a little bit like they were all had this like PR mask on.
Yeah.
And we're all trying to be on their best behavior and be all friendly. And I think that's kind of spoiling it a little bit.
Absolutely. And I think as well, I totally agree. I think everyone in there is so PR trained and well media trained that they're going to have a barrier up. Who knows? Potentially for the whole thing. Who knows?
I hope not.
Obviously, yeah, totally hope not. But I think as well, because there's not really anything at stake. Does that make sense? They're winning £100,000 prize pot, which is what the normal Traitors series does. But this one goes and gets donated to a charity. But in that essence, people are deceptive, right? General members of the public, because £100,000 is a lot of money, right? So it kind of forces you into being making decisions that maybe you wouldn't want to do, but to win the game of the traitors, you can't be nice.
Well, I think here's the thing, right? If you're a normal person going into traitors and you have the prize pot of 100 grand at the end, you're gonna 100 grand to any normal person is a lot of money.
Could be life-changing, 100%.
Exactly. Is a lot of money. It could be life-changing. So you're gonna go, all right, this is a game. I don't mind being a little bit deceptive and walking away. People might dislike me a little bit, but if I walk away with 100K.
That's the game. That's why I'm here.
It's why I'm here, right? You have celebrities who are going into this and ultimately they are gonna make more than 100K off of their personality in this business, right? So they're not incentivized to be ruthless or deceptive or stab people in the backs.
No.
Because if it doesn't help their image, then it's actually going to hurt them being on the Traitors.
It's a really good point. I mean, it is reported that every celebrity in there gets a 40K salary, basically, from it. So everyone's paid 40K, which, again, I think adds to that, sort of lowers the stakes. Yeah,
but you think about it, right? Okay, yes, I'm going to be paid 40K, but they'll be paid 40K whether or not they're in it for 3 days.
Yeah.
Like Paloma.
Yeah.
Or whether they're in it for the whole series, right?
Yeah.
So as long as they're in it and they're on screen, it doesn't, unless they have that set up differently, I doubt it. But, so it doesn't incentivize them to get to the end.
No.
What they're incentivized at is the glory of winning. But if they are then made the villain in the process of being on this show, that is going to hurt their chances of booking another show somewhere else.
Exactly. Yeah.
So
it's going to hurt their image.
So why would they do it? So that's why I think the stakes are a little bit feel lower in this one, because yes, it's lovely that they want to win money for charity, but let's be honest, that's not necessarily going to be the driving incentive for them to throw everything out the window and stab people in the back and be the villain of the show.
Absolutely. Throw people under the bus.
Because then they are essentially sabotaging their own careers.
Yeah. 100%. 100%. I think public image does come into play a lot here, because I see certain celebrities holding back a lot, and maybe not being themselves a little bit, and being a little bit more cunning. Let's talk about the selection of the traitors. Okay, so we've got Jonathan Ross, Alan Carr, and Kat Burns.
Yeah.
What do you think of those three? Were you happy when you saw those three picked, or were you a bit don't know?
No, I was surprised that they put Jonathan Ross and Alan Carr as both traitors. I mean, I'm not going to lie though, Alan Carr for me is literally the
worst one you could pick.
But he's the most brilliant.
He's amazing.
In terms of entertainment value, picking him as a traitor, stroke of genius from the producers.
I agree, because I think how could you not? There's nothing funnier than watching Alan Carr sweat.
And lying.
Yeah.
And I did love how Jonathan, when Paloma was out and so on, and Jonathan was like, so Alan, you knew her best. Why don't you say a few words? And Alan's there like, little.
And also, I mean, let's talk about
stirring the pot.
Yeah, let's talk about how he had to poison her, to her face, basically. And I just loved how Kat and Jonathan were like, Alan, I think this is for you. This one's on you. Like your people will just like not care that you touch their face.
Though.
To be fair, you said it. You said Alan is the only one who can do this.
Yeah. It's true. I do think I think Kat and Jonathan have yet to come into their own as much as Alan Carr has.
Yeah.
I do think there's potential for them to really come alive. I think Kat is gonna. I think she's going to fly under the radar.
So do I. I mean, but I think it will only help her for so long, personally, because historically we've seen that in the Traitors before. When you're quiet, but when you're it's like when you're too confident, right? Like Kate Garraway, right?
Yeah.
That's why, Tom Daly. Sorry, can we just talk about how Tom Daly looked at her when she said the word flabbergasted or whatever?
But also how convinced he is and how entirely wrong he is.
He's so wrong, yeah.
He is convinced he's right.
How do we feel about how Tom Daly's coming across? Because I thought he was like, I mean, look, we love Tom Daly, what a guy. But
I think
I didn't expect it. I think he's being a bit more like cunning than the others.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. I think my impression of his personality on the outside is this very like kind, sweet, he knits jumpers, like just this very sort of almost soft type of person.
Yeah.
And that is not who we've got in the house.
We've got, Tom is here to play the game.
Exactly, which I love. Listen, I'm not knocking that's, but it's just funny how the public perception, at least for my idea of what I'd seen of him and how he's coming across in the game, I'm like, these two things are not matching. And the side eye.
The side eye was phenomenal. I actually went back and said, Sophie, look at that side eye. It is brilliant.
I know, it was good. But I think it's an interesting cast. I feel like I kind of feel sad that Paloma Faith went out so quickly because I think she could have been a really big player.
Yeah, and she's a really interesting person, isn't she?
Yeah, but I feel like there's still Celia, I feel like she
could be good.
She's going to be a bit of a dark horse.
See, we know Celia's just come off the back of the Thursday Murder Club.
Yeah,
what I mean? We know that.
Exactly.
She knows this game.
She does.
I think Jonathan Ross, I actually think will be a big player. I think he's a big personality. And I also thought about this today. When you've spent your entire career talking to other human beings for a living, you must get quite good at reading people.
Oh, totally. Yeah. I mean, I'm not sure how good we're going to be at, reading him, considering he's always in the most ostentatious.
His outfit choices are interesting.
I know, but I am enjoying watching what he's going to come out wearing next.
Yeah, same. Who knows?
I want to see what his coat closet looks like because clearly
it's going to be a full spacesuit next. That's what he's going to walk out as. I think it's interesting though because we've clearly got the smart people in the pack, and we've talked historically before about the original Traitors saying that the smart ones always get ousted first.
Yeah.
We've got Nick Mohammed, who in the game
I thought that was dangerous.
So did I. Yeah. Yeah. Go on. Do you want to expand on that?
Yeah, I thought it was a bit dangerous how he was really stepping up to the plate and solving all those puzzles because
getting everyone through.
Yeah, because totally appreciate it. You want to win the money for charity, but also you are going to put a huge target on your back if you continue showing how smart you are.
Yeah.
And I just think he should be smarter than that.
Yeah. I mean, clearly it's difficult, isn't it? Right. Because he'll come at it as a point of, well, I'm helping the team accomplish like a victory here for us, which benefits everybody. But at the same time, I agree, the target is getting bigger because, the smart people in the Traitors always get ousted quickest.
Yeah. Well, I think Stephen Fry played it quite well. You can tell.
Yeah. What did you think about his round table starting it?
That was the one thing where I was like, oh, interesting that you're taking the lead here. And he was really trying to reiterate to everybody that it wasn't personal.
Yeah.
I don't think that's necessarily going to work. I get the sentiment and I agree with him, but I don't think that saying that to everybody is going to make anything feel better when you're calling people out.
I mean, I thought it was interesting because I felt like that was his moment to establish himself as like the leader, which obviously
I feel like he kind of did.
He did.
Yeah, Stephen hasn't really come into the game yet, apart from at the round table.
Yeah.
I think that's where Stephen has played this a little bit better because Nick essentially came into the game early on fixing those puzzles and figuring out those answers and being this quote unquote smart one.
Yeah.
And then Stephen hasn't really feel like he's sat back and watched. And then when it came to the round table, that's when he put his voice out there, which gives him a sense of authority, I think.
Yeah.
But isn't necessarily putting a target on his back for being the smartest one.
Absolutely.
Although I don't know, it can go either way. Because I mean, as we know with traitors, the smart people always get chucked out quickly. So it's either going to be Stephen's going to go because he's authoritative, or Nick's going to go because he's smart.
Yeah, I could see one of those two going fairly early on in the next few weeks.
Yeah.
And we also know that Stephen loves, he loves Shakespeare. What was the first thing he did after the challenge? He ran in and was like, I'm just going to see how many people die in Macbeth.
Yeah.
Which I loved. Okay, I've got a couple of questions for you. Just lighthearted, don't worry about it. So at this stage, who do you think's playing a good strategy and who's playing a bad one?
I think Cat Burns is playing a good strategy.
Yep.
As a traitor. I think everybody that we haven't really spoken to or spoken about is playing a good strategy.
Yeah, because they're
as a faithful, because they're flying under the radar.
Yeah,
which is, I think, where you want to be in the beginning.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely.
Joe Wilkinson.
Joe Wilkinson, love him.
I like him. He's doing well. He's light, comic relief, but then I think he's being very observant, which I think is good. He's making people like him because he's being funny, which is, that's what he does. But then also flying under the radar. Whereas Alan Carr is being funny, but not flying under the radar.
I feel like if someone like Nick Mohammed starts applying the pressure on Alan, he will start to crack.
Yeah.
That's how I feel.
Yeah.
If you let one of the smart ones at him, he will crack. And finally, who do you think has a high chance of winning the game? So if you had to put money on it, no doubt we will talk about the traitors on future episodes again. But who do you think at this stage who would you put money on that they could do this?
Well, I think all of them could do it. I think we don't know enough yet. I don't think Alan's going to go the whole way.
No.
I think Kat could go pretty far.
Yeah.
Jonathan, maybe, but if he keeps winding Alan up, he will take himself out with that.
Mm-hmm.
And then, I don't know, from a faithful, at this point, I think Joe has a good chance. Celia has a good chance.
Yeah.
Kate, I feel like she's being a bit loud at the moment, so I feel like she might be taken out.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah. I don't know. It'll be interesting to see how it evolves.
My money's on Jonathan Ross.
You think he's going to win?
I just think, I think he's got, I think he at this stage is the strongest traitor because I think he has the power I think he will throw any one of them under the bus. I definitely think that. I think Alan is the weakest of the pack. The most brilliant, in my opinion. I love Alan Carr, but I just feel like
at the moment he's not in the strongest position.
No, I just feel like as soon as someone starts, poking at him, he will be like, "I don't what." But yes,
I do love him though. He's coming across really well.
He is coming across brilliantly.
He is exactly who I think he is from watching content outside of the traitors, and you can see he is the same person.
yeah, which is brilliant. I love that. Yeah, it's great.
Thanks guys for listening. That was Cut to the Take. If you want to watch more of these or if you want to watch the full episode, do click on the playlists. Otherwise, we put these out every week, so please do subscribe for more. Give us a like or a comment. Tell us what you think. Thanks for being here. We'll see you soon. Bye.
Bye.